It is 3 in the morning. The room is dark. The house is quiet. And suddenly, you are awake. Your chest is tight, your heart is pounding, and you cannot breathe. You are gulping for air, grabbing at your chest, sitting up in a panic. And for a few terrifying seconds, you have absolutely no idea what is happening to you. If that has ever happened to you, or if someone you love has woken up in the night struggling to breathe, I need you to stay with me right now. Because what I'm going to share with you today could be the most important thing you watch this year. Today I'm going to give you 4 specific things to do the moment this happens. 4 steps that are grounded in real science, not guesses, not internet advice, real pulmonary and cardiac medicine. And I'm going to explain them so clearly that even at 3 in the morning, half awake and frightened, you'll know exactly what to do. But before the 4 steps, I want to tell you about Margaret. Margaret was 73 years old, retired school teacher, sharp as a tack. She lived alone in the same house she'd raised her children in, and she was fiercely independent. Her daughter called every Sunday. Her neighbors checked in on her. By all measures, Margaret was doing well. Then one Tuesday night, she woke up at 2:47 in the morning. She told me the exact time because she'd looked at the clock, and she could not breathe. Her chest felt like someone had parked a car on it. She was gasping. Her heart was racing. She was terrified. And here is what Margaret did. She lay back down. She pulled the covers up. She told herself it would pass. She lay there for 22 minutes trying to breathe, alone in the dark, because she didn't want to bother anyone, because she didn't know what else to do. It passed, eventually. And the next morning, Margaret told herself it was probably just a bad dream. It wasn't a bad dream. And when she came to see me 3 weeks later, after it had happened 4 more times, I sat across from her and I said, "Margaret, I need you to understand what's happening, because next time, lying back down could cost you your life." I'm telling you Margaret's story because I know some of you watching right now have had this happen, maybe once, maybe more, and you told yourself the same thing she did. It was probably nothing. It passed. I need you to understand what it actually is. And then I'm going to give you 4 steps that will protect you. Here is what's really happening when you wake up gasping for air. Your body has a word for it. Doctors call it paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. That's a long phrase that simply means sudden breathlessness that wakes you from sleep. And research confirms this happens far more often in adults over 65 than in any other age group. There are 4 main reasons it happens, and I want to explain each one simply, because when you understand the cause, the solution will make perfect sense. The first cause is something called obstructive sleep apnea. Think of your throat as a tube. When you're awake, the muscles around that tube keep it open. But when you fall into deep sleep, those muscles relax. In some people, especially as we get older, those muscles relax so much that the tube partially or completely collapses. Breathing actually stops for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, sometimes longer. Your blood oxygen drops, your brain fires a full emergency alarm, and you wake up gasping. Research shows that sleep apnea affects up to 70% of men over 65, and the majority of them have never been diagnosed. They've just been waking up in the night for years, not knowing why. The second cause is the heart, specifically a weakened heart. When the heart isn't pumping as strongly as it should, something that becomes more common after 65, fluid that your body can't clear properly starts to back up. During the day, that fluid tends to sit in your legs. You might notice puffy ankles in the evening, but when you lie down to sleep, that fluid redistributes. It moves upward. It enters the lungs. And after a few hours lying flat, it reaches the point where your lungs are so full of fluid that there's simply not enough room for air. Your body panics. You wake up gasping. The third cause is acid reflux, and this one surprises people. Most people think of acid reflux as heartburn after a big meal. But in older adults, stomach acid can silently creep up into the throat and windpipe while you're asleep and lying flat. You don't feel it as heartburn. You feel it as a sudden choking sensation, like something is burning and blocking your airway. Your body jolts awake, gasping. Doctors call this silent reflux, and it's far more common in seniors than most people realize. The fourth cause is asthma or COPD, conditions that narrow the breathing tubes. Here's something that most people don't know. Your airways follow a daily rhythm. They are naturally at their narrowest point in the very early morning hours, between 3 and 6 a.m. If you have asthma or COPD, even well controlled, that natural narrowing combined with the already inflamed airways from these conditions can be enough to trigger a gasping episode right in the middle of the night. Now, here is the critical thing I need you to hear. In that moment when you wake up gasping, you may not know which of these 4 causes is happening. You are half asleep, frightened, and your brain is in full panic mode. You are not going to be doing medical self-diagnosis at 3 in the morning. That is exactly why the 4 steps I'm about to give you are so powerful. They work for all 4 causes, every single one. Write these down. Put them on a piece of paper on your nightstand, not in your phone, on paper, big letters, because when it happens, you are not going to search for a video. You need it right in front of you. Tip number 1, sit up, completely, right now. Do not lie back down. This is the most important thing you can do, and it's the thing Margaret didn't do. The moment you wake up gasping, swing your legs off the side of the bed. Sit fully upright, both feet on the floor, not halfway up, not propped on pillows, fully seated on the edge of the mattress. Here is why this works, and why it works immediately for all 4 causes. If your heart has been letting fluid back up into your lungs, gravity is now working against that fluid. The moment you sit upright, gravity pulls it back down, away from your lungs. Research shows that in heart failure patients, sitting upright alone, before any medication, before anything else, can meaningfully improve breathing within 60 to 90 seconds. If the cause is sleep apnea, sitting upright removes the collapse. When you lie flat, gravity pulls the soft tissue in the back of your throat backward. It blocks the airway. The moment you sit up, that tissue falls forward. The airway opens. If the cause is acid reflux, gravity works in your favor again. Sitting upright stops the acid from traveling further upward. It retreats back into the stomach. The burning and choking sensation begins to ease. And if the cause is asthma or COPD, sitting upright frees your diaphragm, that large dome-shaped muscle under your lungs. When you're lying flat, the weight of your organs presses up against it and limits how far it can move. Sitting up gives it full range of motion. Every breath immediately becomes deeper and more effective. I've had patients tell me that just sitting up reduced their breathlessness by half within 2 minutes. The body already knows how to do this. You just have to give it the right position. Margaret did the exact opposite. She lay back down. She made every single one of those 4 causes worse at the same time. Do not lie back down. Tip number 2, pursed lip breathing. 2 counts in, 4 counts out. Here is what happens inside your body the moment you wake up gasping. Your brain fires a full emergency alarm. Adrenaline floods in. Your heart rate shoots up. And your breathing becomes fast and shallow. Rapid, panicked gulping that actually makes the breathlessness dramatically worse. And I need you to understand why. When you breathe too fast, you exhale carbon dioxide faster than your body produces it. Your carbon dioxide level drops too low, and your body responds by constricting the airways even further. The panic is literally tightening the very tube you are trying to breathe through. The way to break that cycle is a technique called pursed lip breathing. It's been used by respiratory therapists for decades. It works. Here is how you do it. Once you are sitting upright, breathe in slowly through your nose for 2 counts. Then, press your lips together gently, like you're about to blow out a birthday candle. And breathe out through those pursed lips for 4 counts. Twice as long out as in. 2 counts in through the nose, 4 counts out through pursed lips. That's the whole technique. But let me tell you what it's actually doing inside your body. When you exhale through pursed lips, you create a small amount of back pressure in your airways. That back pressure keeps the tiny breathing tubes from collapsing when you breathe out, which is exactly what happens in COPD and asthma. It keeps those tubes open and gives your body more time to exchange oxygen properly. And there is a second thing this technique does that is just as important. The slow, deliberate rhythm, 2 counts in, 4 counts out, activates the part of your nervous system that says, calm down. It physically lowers your heart rate. It reduces the adrenaline surge. It keeps you from spiraling into full panic, which is what turns a manageable breathing episode into a medical emergency. Research published in the International Journal of COPD showed that pursed lip breathing reduces breathing rate, improves oxygen levels in the blood, and significantly reduces the feeling of breathlessness, in many cases within 3 to 5 minutes. I want you to practice this right now while you are watching this video and you are calm. 2 counts in through the nose, 4 counts out through pursed lips. Practice it so your body knows the movement before you ever need it in an emergency. Tip number 3, get to fresh air. Open a window or step near a door. You are sitting upright. You are breathing slowly. Now, if you are physically able to do so safely, move toward a window or a door you can crack open. This sounds almost too simple, but the science behind it is real and well documented. Your face has nerve receptors, particularly around your nose and upper cheeks, that are directly connected to the breathing centers in your brain. When cool, fresh air touches your face, those receptors send a signal to the brain that says, air is available. Breathe normally. That signal directly reduces the sensation of breathlessness, even before the oxygen in your blood has changed at all. This is called the trigeminal nerve response. The trigeminal nerve is the largest sensory nerve in your face. It registers airflow, and it modulates your perception of breathlessness directly. This is why so many people with breathing difficulties instinctively want a window open. It's not wishful thinking. There is real neuroscience behind it. Beyond that, rooms that have been sealed overnight can accumulate dust mites, pet dander, and allergens that are known triggers for both asthma attacks and reflux episodes. Opening a window breaks that exposure. One important note: if the air outside is very cold, don't throw the window wide open. Cold air alone can trigger airway spasm in someone with asthma. A small crack, just enough to feel some fresh air on your face, is all you need. So you are now sitting upright, breathing through pursed lips with cool, fresh air on your face. These 3 things together are addressing your airway, your breathing mechanics, and your nervous system all at once. Most episodes, for most people, will begin to improve meaningfully within 5 to 10 minutes of doing all three. Tip number 4. Know exactly when to call 911, and do not wait. This is the most important tip of all 4. And I say that because the other 3 tips are about breathing through the episode. This one is about knowing when the episode is not something you breathe through. I want to be direct with you. I have seen older adults wait too long. I have seen people sit in the dark for 30 minutes trying to breathe through something that was a heart attack. The instinct to wait and see, to not want to bother anyone, to not want to overreact, is understandable. But that instinct has cost lives. Research confirms that older adults are significantly more likely than younger patients to delay calling for emergency help during cardiac and respiratory events. And that delay is a documented, preventable cause of death. Here are the signs that mean you call 911 right now. No waiting. No watching it for a few more minutes. You call immediately. The first sign is chest pain or pressure alongside the gasping. Any sensation of tightening, squeezing, pressure, or pain in the center of your chest, or in your left arm, your jaw, or your upper back is a cardiac red flag. A heart attack can trigger a gasping episode. Time is critical. Every minute without treatment during a heart attack causes damage that cannot be undone. The second sign is blue or gray color in your lips or fingertips. If you look at your lips or your nails and they look blue, purple, or gray, even slightly, your blood oxygen has dropped to a dangerous level. That is a 911 call immediately. The third sign is not being able to speak in full sentences. If you cannot say the words, "I can't breathe," without stopping to gasp in the middle of them, your oxygen is severely compromised. You cannot breathe your way through that level of breathlessness at home. You need emergency intervention. The fourth sign is feeling like you are about to faint or lose consciousness. Dizziness, the room spinning, a feeling of going dark, call immediately. And the fifth, this one matters. If you have been sitting upright, doing the pursed lip breathing near fresh air for a full 10 minutes, and you are not improving, call 911. 10 minutes, that is your window. Not 20, not 30. 10 minutes of doing everything right, and if it's not getting better, call. And if you are unsure whether it's serious enough to call, that doubt alone is reason enough to call. The paramedics would far rather come to your home and find you breathing normally than not come and find out you needed them. Now let me tell you what happened with Margaret. After she came to see me, I sent her for a sleep study. The results came back: moderate obstructive sleep apnea. Her airway was collapsing dozens of times every hour while she slept. For years. We fitted her with a CPAP machine, a small device that delivers a gentle stream of air through a mask while you sleep, keeping the airway open. Within 2 weeks, Margaret called me. She said, "Doctor, I slept through the night for the first time in years. I didn't even know I'd been waking up so many times before." Her daughter called me too. She said her mother seemed 10 years younger. The dark circles under her eyes were gone. She was sharper in conversation. She wasn't nodding off in the afternoon anymore. All of that, from a device the size of a small bedside lamp that kept her airway open while she slept. That is what happens when you stop treating the scare and start treating the cause. But here's what I need you to understand. Margaret might not have had the chance to get that diagnosis if she hadn't known what to do on the nights it happened before she came to see me. Sitting up immediately, pursed lip breathing, fresh air, and knowing when to call 911. Those 4 things bought her the time she needed. Now I want you to do something right now while you're still watching. Get a piece of paper or ask someone nearby to get one for you. Write these 4 steps down in large letters. Number them. Put that paper on your nightstand tonight. 1. Sit upright, legs on the floor. 2. Pursed lip breathing. 2 counts in, 4 counts out. 3. Fresh air, crack a window. 4. If chest pain, blue lips, can't speak, or not better in 10 minutes, call 911. That paper on your nightstand may be the most important piece of paper in your home. And one more thing. After every episode, whether it's severe or mild, write down what happened. Write the time, how long it lasted, whether you had chest pain, whether your ankles were swollen before bed. Bring that paper to your doctor. That information is exactly what allows your doctor to find the real cause and to treat it, so these episodes stop happening to you altogether. Sleep apnea is treatable. Heart-related breathing episodes are treatable. Reflux is treatable. Asthma and COPD are manageable. None of this has to keep happening. You deserve to sleep through the night. You deserve to wake up in the morning, not gasping at 3 a.m. And now, you know exactly what to do if it happens again. If this video helped you, I want you to do one thing. Share it with one person tonight. One friend who lives alone. One adult child whose parent has mentioned waking up in the night. One spouse who's been watching their partner struggle and not knowing what to do. The information in this video costs nothing, but it could save a life.